All right, so crop circles. These intricate patterns that just kind of show up seemingly overnight in fields. I mean, they're all over the world, right?
Yeah, and they've, well, captured the imagination. I mean, we've all
Maybe.
seen the movies where, it's aliens with lasers and all that, right?
Right. But what if we actually peel back those layers of pop culture and really examine the phenomenon, like really dig deep?
Yeah. And this isn't just some recent fad or anything. We're talking centuries of documented cases.
Really?
Oh, yeah. There's this woodcut from 1678. It's called the Devil's Mower. And it literally shows this devilish figure making a circle in a field. So it seems people have been fascinated by this stuff for a very long time.
Wow. That's incredible. Like a 17th century viral meme, right?
Exactly.
But then, jumping ahead to the 20th century, things really kind of exploded in the 1970s, like a huge surge in crop circle appearances, especially in England. It really captured the world's attention. For decades, these designs just seemed to defy any explanation. Like nobody could figure out how they were made, who was behind them, what their purpose could be.
And then, 1991, two British retirees come forward, Doug Bauer and Dave Chorley. And they made this stunning claim that they created all the crop circles.
Wait, all of them?
They said all of them
Yeah.
since 1976.
No way.
And they're tools. Simple.
Yeah.
Plank of wood, rope, a little bit of stomping under the cover of darkness.
That's right. It was like a massive media sensation. But there are some serious doubts about their story from the very beginning, weren't there?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you really think about the scale of their claim. Thousands of crop circles appearing all over the globe, often in, incredibly complex patterns. Logistically, it just seems, well, almost impossible for two individuals to pull this off, even if they were dedicated to a life of nocturnal field art.
Yeah, not to mention the lack of any eyewitness accounts of them actually creating these formations, despite their, supposedly widespread activity.
Yeah, exactly. The lack of evidence is a big red flag. But what's really interesting is the impact their story had. It planted this seed of the human-made explanation.
In the public mind.
Yeah. Even though there were, and still are, many unanswered questions, it's almost like their story became some sort of widespread false memory.
Right. So even if we kind of dismiss Bauer and Chorley's story, could there be others out there, secretly creating these designs under the cover of night? I mean, people have tried to replicate them, right?
Oh, they certainly have. Researchers, media outlets, all intrigued by this mystery, decided to put this human-made theory to the test. They challenged teams to create these complex crop circle patterns in the dark, under realistic conditions, just like the real phenomena.
Okay.
The results, well, let's just say, replicated the complexity and precision of genuine crop circles. Yeah. Much harder than it looks.
I'm guessing they weren't able to pull it off.
Not even close. They consistently found it impossible to create anything even remotely as intricate as the authentic crop circles. They quickly realized that you'd need aerial views, precise measurements, and a whole lot more time than a few hours in the dark allows. Their attempts, they always ended up crude and lacking the finesse of the real deal.
So there's a clear visual difference between a real crop circle and a fake one.
Oh, yeah.
What are some of the telltale signs?
Okay, in genuine crop circles, the plants are gently bent, not broken. The seeds remain intact, and a lot of times the plants even continue to grow. Now, in the fabricated circles, you see broken stems, scattered seeds, evidence of force. It's a pretty stark contrast when you know what to look for.
Okay, so this is where things get really interesting for me, because if humans aren't secretly crafting these elaborate designs, then what is? Are there any scientific explanations for how these things just appear?
Well, that's where the mystery deepens. Scientists studying genuine crop circle formations, they've discovered some fascinating anomalies. They found elongated nodes and what they call blown-out sections in the stems of the plants. It's as if something's happening inside the plants themselves, causing them to bend in these precise ways.
So it's not just simple flattening. Something's actually changing the structure of the plant.
Exactly. And this leads to a really intriguing theory. Some researchers believe that some type of electromagnetic force might be responsible for these internal changes, causing the plants to bend without breaking.
This ties back to those eyewitness accounts you hear about.
Right.
People describing buzzing sounds, rapid formations. It really paints this picture of some kind of unseen energy at work.
It does. But if it's not human activity, and we're still trying to understand the scientific explanations, then it begs the question, are these formations a form of communication? And if so, who or what is trying to communicate with us? It's a question that's fueled so many theories and debates over the years.
Right.
Are these a message from beyond our world? And if so, what are they trying to tell us?
Right.
Well, one really compelling piece of the puzzle is the Chilbolton crop circle. This one appeared in 2001. And what makes this one so fascinating is that it seems to be like a direct response to the Arecibo message, the one that humans sent into space back in 1974.
Oh, yeah, the Arecibo message. Essentially a cosmic hello from Earth.
Exactly. A radio signal just packed with information about humanity, our planet. A bold attempt to reach out to any potential intelligent life out there.
And then years later, we get this crop circle formation that's mimicking the structure of the Arecibo message.
Amazing.
What were some of the differences? Give us the details.
Well, the Chilbolton formation, it was like a mirror image of the Arecibo message, but with some interesting alterations. So instead of depicting a human figure, it showed this alien-like being, often described as, resembling the classic gray alien archetype. And the DNA double helix from the original message was replaced with a more complex triple helix.
Wow.
And, maybe most intriguingly, the depiction of our solar system was altered, suggested a different planetary arrangement.
It's like someone or something received our message, made some edits, and sent it right back to us. Amazing. And a little unnerving. What about that other crop circle, the one with what looked like binary code? Didn't that one spell out a message in English?
You're talking about the 2002 crop circle, the one that resembled a CD with a pattern of dots and dashes, right?
That's the one, like something straight out of a science fiction movie. What did that message say?
Okay, so when decoded, the binary message read, "Beware the bearers of false gifts and their broken promises. Much pain, but still time. Damaged word. There is good out there. We oppose deception. Conduit closing bell sound."
Okay, that's chilling. A message of warning, but a warning to whom? And from whom? It's so open to interpretation. Could be a message from extraterrestrials, but it could also be something else entirely, right?
It's a message wrapped in mystery, for sure. Who are these bearers of false gifts? What are the broken promises? And what is the conduit that's closing? Raises far more questions than it answers.
A cosmic riddle. It really makes you wonder, are these messages even meant for us? Are we the intended audience?
That is a thought-provoking question. It reminds me of another great mystery. The Nazca lines in Peru. These massive ancient geoglyphs etched into the desert floor, only truly visible from the air. Their purpose is still a mystery, but some researchers speculate they weren't meant for humans on the ground at all.
So you're saying crop circles could be something similar, like navigational markers? Or signals for, I don't know, something or someone else entirely? Like we might be seeing a communication system that's, I don't know, that's not meant for us to understand.
It's certainly within the realm of possibility. We tend to assume that any message, any communication, must be directed at us, at
Yeah.
humans. But what if we're just catching these glimpses of something far grander, more complex? A language, a system of meaning that's beyond our current comprehension.
Wow. That's a pretty profound thought. It's humbling and exhilarating to consider that we might be witnessing something so far beyond our understanding. So here we are with these intricate designs appearing overnight, often near ancient sites, with no clear human explanation. We've got the plants themselves being altered in ways that we can't fully replicate. And then we have these cryptic messages, some seemingly directed at us, others perhaps not.
Challenges our assumptions about what's possible, about who or what might be out there, and about our place in this grand scheme of things.
It's a reminder that we don't have all the answers, right?
Right.
And maybe that's a good thing. Keeps us curious, searching, and looking up at the stars with that sense of wonder.
Exactly. A call to embrace the unknown, to be open to possibilities that we may not have even considered before.
Yeah.
We started by talking about those two British guys, Bauer and Chorley.
Right. Those retirees who claim to have made, all the crop circle.
Yeah, and their story's been, well, pretty much debunked, right? But it brings up an interesting point. If those patterns, those intricate designs that show up all over the world, if they're not the work of some, mischievous retirees or even some elaborate hoax by, groups of people, what are we left with?
The million-dollar question. Right. I mean, we've gone over some pretty compelling evidence that challenges that whole human-made thing. The scientific anomalies, the elongated nodes, those blown-out sections. It all points to something way more complex than some simple flattening or breaking. And then there are the messages. That 2002 binary code message, it feels like, well, a warning. But who's it directed to? And who sent it?
A message shrouded in mystery, that's for sure. The bearers of false gifts. The broken promise is all very cryptic. But that ambiguity, that's part of what makes it so captivating, right? It makes us think outside the box.
Hmm.
Consider possibilities that, at first glance, might seem outlandish.
And it brings us back to this idea that maybe, just maybe, we're not the intended audience. Like, what if these formations, these messages, they're all part of a communication system that we're just not meant to understand? You know, like stumbling on a conversation in a language we've never heard before.
Exactly. It's a humbling thought, isn't it? But it also opens up, well, a whole new realm of possibilities. Like, what if these crop circles? What if they're navigational markers for extraterrestrial beings? Or some form of interdimensional communication? Signals just passing between realities that we can barely perceive.
Mind-boggling. The whole crop circle phenomenon, it really forces us to kind of confront the limits of our knowledge, our understanding. It reminds us that there's still so much that we don't know about our world,
Yeah.
about the universe, about, the very nature of reality itself.
And that, I think, is the true power of a mystery like this. It's not always about finding those definitive answers, but about embracing the unknown, asking questions, allowing ourselves to just be awestruck by the sheer wonder of it all.
So we've come to the end of our deep dive into the world of crop circles, and I gotta say, I'm left with this sense of wonder, a renewed curiosity. It's clear that these formations, they're more than just elaborate hoaxes. They challenge our assumptions. They remind us of the vastness of the unknown. And maybe, just maybe, they offer us a glimpse of something truly extraordinary. So if these formations aren't human-made and the scientific explanations are, still evolving, what are we left with? Is it a message, a warning, a signpost, or something we haven't even conceived of? Maybe the answers are out there, waiting to be discovered, or maybe, just maybe, the true beauty of this mystery, it lies in the questions themselves, in the endless possibilities that they inspire.
Keep questioning, keep exploring,
Ah.
and keep looking up. The answers, or at least more pieces to the puzzle, they might be closer than we think.